Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Letting Your Sun Shine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. Okay, so the intention today is just what do we need to know? Because that's my favorite question to ask. What do we need to know? You say 2 more, 1 more, 3 more. That's weird. Okay. What is going on with this pile? Hold on 1 second. The energy in this is just, it's kind of a little chaotic. It's like, not chaotic, that's the wrong word. It's almost to the point where it's just a little bit uncontainable. It could be chaotic, but it's just so much excitement, so much energy right now. Okay, so now the right card that needs to come out, please come out. Okay, this is better. This is more manageable. All right. Yeah, that felt like, you know, if I didn't take time to actually just check everything, make sure, calm it, ground it, it could have easily spun off into some crazy chaos. So I feel like that's part of the reading. And it wasn't so much that it was too intense. It was just, I almost was like getting caught up in it, and it was easily taking me. And it's almost, I see like, they're showing me more of like a tornado and like this tornado coming and picking up a trampoline, and the trampoline not being bolted down. So it's just kind of caught up in it, and you know, it doesn't feel like things are going to chaos at the time, but when you take a step back and you actually look at it, you're like, damn, this is a freaking tornado, and it's like throwing everything up in the air. But at the time, it just kind of had kind of feelings of like a roller coaster, you know? And then so it almost felt like calm. The best I can explain that is when I went skydiving. It's scary jumping out of the plane, but once you actually like pulled the chute and you're just kind of floating down to the earth, it's actually really peaceful and very calm. So the energy today is like this chaos and calm and chaos, and knowing when to ground yourself, I guess. So let's just see what the message is, because I feel like okay. Okay, so they're actually telling me we're going to start at the end, because we're going to work on manifesting. And so right now they are saying that there is some turmoil within you, and it says, who do you need to forgive? So at this moment, in the very present, there is somebody who is, they are that chaos, and maybe you don't notice that they're spinning you out of control, or that anytime you're with them, it's always drama, or there's always problems, because there's also a bit of fun that's associated with them, right? That roller coaster ride. It's like with them, they don't think much, and so they just jump and go. And we love that free spirit energy. But I'm seeing that this free spirit energy is careless and reckless, and doesn't really put other people's needs and values into the equation. They just do whatever they feel like. And in it, a problem happened, and somebody got burned. And so they're saying now there's this situation, they're going to call it a situationship, because you have so much history and you're so entwined with them that it's now harming you, but they're the fun. Like it's a really confusing aspect, and I guess only you can know. Like whoever pops up in your head when I say this is probably 99.99999% of the time correct. Like, you know that there's someone, like they're fun, but you just know they're trouble. They just know that if you keep engaging in that energy, it's going to cause more harm down the road. It's going to take that trampoline. Like I said, right? Trampolines are fun. You're jumping on them. You're like, this is fun. Like, especially as kids, you know, you get double bounce, woo, whatever. But I'm seeing that this trampoline has been picked up by a tornado and it's being flung. And so when you're just jumping and you don't need, you need to take a step back and see the bigger picture, they say. And so we are going to put a timeline on this. If you work with the cycles and if you've been kind of doing the work now, right now is the balance between the dark and the light. Like this, of course, this information is coming up in you right now. And that's what I said. When you think of whoever it is, 99% of the time, that is your guides telling you, like, we need to heal this. So in manifesting, you want to leave things open, but you really want to be specific and detailed and write things. So for this reading, we are going to put the intention, right? We do need some time to work through this. Some things can be instant, but for this kind of, I'm seeing like, they said, just call it a situationship. For some people, it's romantic partners. Some people, it's family. Some people, it's friendships. Whatever this situationship is to you. But we're going to put a timeline on it by autumn. Why autumn? Because by autumn is when the harvests and the abundance and everything is good. So there is still some growing and lessons to do. It's saying, who do you need to forgive? They're saying you don't need to have this person in here, but the gook and the damage and all the energetic and the healing, that takes time. So we're going to say by autumn, right? Right now we've got spring coming, summer, and this is all the growing and going in your own direction. They're saying to go onto this card first, and this card says Unraveler. Unraveler. So what they're showing me, this one goes with this card as well. This card is Parasite. This one's Unraveler. What they're saying is it's this toxic, things need to come undone. And the friend, the situation, whoever this person is, they have a way of like lashing with their tongue. And it's like anytime that you've had something successful happen to you, they kind of were there in the background, like saying something to try and knock you down a bit. They just never were happy with you being all the way up, right? They're the ones who speak so ill and poor of everyone around them. They're so insecure in themselves that everyone that they see around them, any joy that those people have, they have a problem with that, right? Oh, you know, this and this, well, mine's better. Oh, this and this, yeah, but she did this and this to get it. Like, it's just a gossipy, it's awful. They're going to swallow their words one day. It will come back and go for them. But when you've been lashed by this energy for so long, they do form these kind of, they're showing me energetic cords, right? You have a bond to this person. It's hard to release this because they've been there. They're showing time, With these cords, it's like they've been in so many situations with you that it's time and loyalty that keeps them bonded to you. And in the second situation, sorry, there's just construction going on outside and it kind of distracted me. And I can easily be pulled out of my state when I'm there. Okay, so time caught you and bonded. And then the other ones that we need to heal from, it was saying parasite. Oh, Cooper's getting in trouble right now. Poor guy. You know what, guys? There's so much chaos going outside and in the house. I'm just gonna pause it until we're calm again and come back. 1 second. They're pouring cement out there, so it's not gonna be over anytime soon. So let's just continue. So when I was talking, we had the Raveler and then we had Parasite. Parasite was in reverse. It is time to let go of this toxic connection. We are gonna give ourselves a date by autumn. So this parasite, this person, situationship, they're just someone who's never truly happy for us, right? They don't have the well wishes. It's almost like whatever it is that they do, it only ever is because of benefit to them. And so I see someone being, you know, you're part of that group, but it's only to help them get above. So you may have been used, and that's so unfortunate to say. But okay, here's the positive part, right? Because we are in a season of growth. I do see them being taken out by the root, but that space or that void kind of, you know, you'll easily go back because you've just been so comfortable with them being there and not there. And so now it's that time of growing in a new direction and healing. And so once the root's gone, it's those empty void spaces that they're saying it's for you to now fill up with however you see fit. And so you can add color in there. You could leave it void. You can leave darkness in there. Whatever it is that void space, but it's the void with it not being there is where the healing can happen. So you can't keep engaging in this person. And I feel like every time you talk to them, their words hurt so much. And those words are loops now in your head. They're part of your inside chatter, right? Because we're the meanest ones to ourselves, that inside voice in our head. But I feel like this person, past words that they've said has just integrated into you as a belief. And so that's the type of things that we have to give ourselves some space and time. It's very easy to cut that person out, add boundaries, whatever. But it's the after part when they're not there. Sometimes you feel drawn to go back just because, well, it was toxic. And so usually toxic things feed us in some way, an energy force, we'll say. But it's not healthy, and it's codependent, and you become dependent on, you know. For some, I'm seeing that this is like more of like a motherly type, and you just want their approval. And so it's finally for you to release that wanting, that longing, because it kept you limited. And so, is that what that's it? Limiter. This is the limiter, but it was in reverse. And so this is freeing ourselves, right? We're no longer limited. And this one also was in reverse. Inspiration. What they're telling me is, if this is making sense to you, when I talk about this situationship, about somebody, especially their words being like poison, and you still feel like you have these attachments to them and bonds, and you know that they're no longer there. You know you've removed them, but now it's that healing phase. It is. So what they're showing me, right, there's the lashing. Now it's that unraveling, but it's all this. all this is the pieces here. And so what does that mean? For some of you, a soul retrieval is needed. And it's like, what's a soul retrieval? Well, in some instances, when you are in a traumatic experience, your soul, some instances are just so hard for you to take that if you had 100% of your consciousness there and you witnessed it 100%, your psyche and everything just couldn't handle it. So there are like fractures that happen us in certain times. And so there's moments in our lives where, you know, you're kind of sideswiped and you don't picture it. And it's like, shh, I hear that breaking. It's almost like, imagine like your soul is like a glass mirror and it just, shh, and then like little pieces stay there because those pieces were so traumatic that it was hard to integrate and deal with. You didn't have the resources at the time to actually fully deal with that yet. And so once you go and you bring these pieces and you heal these holes, because that's what I'm seeing is that break happening, and then that's where this person saw an in, because that shatter had happened and now there's a place to get in. So they are saying that this is a longer process. You may want it to heal instantly, but it's not quite like that. So we are going to give ourselves a time. Autumn, I think, is a great time. So that's like what, 6 months? 6 months is still kind of a long time, but it's the knowing what happens in the cycles of this. And so now there's time for things to grow in those spaces. As long as you make sure you have good boundaries and you don't let this person in, as long as you don't let them, right? And so now we go into the I Ching. And so I pulled the cards, and you know, when everything was going on, I did pause it and I read the book, and I just put cards in to find the spaces really quick. So the first one that we have is 53 in reverse. So when I go to 53, the card that I used to save it was marriage. So relationship, right? This is a situationship, this one's a relationship. And it says 53 is wind above the mountain. Because it's 6 coins, right? In I Ching, you flipped coins and each one means an element, something like that. So what 53 means with the symbols, right? So there's the 3, so that one means wind, and then that one means mountain. So wood and earth. And it says, a tree on the mountain, right action takes time. It's in reverse. So I thought that was interesting. Not the right time to take action. And then the next one, we have new home for 17, which 17 is lake below thunder. It says thunder in the middle of the lake, action suspended. So here we had new love, new relationship, divine partnerships, a new home, a new everything. Both of them said action suspended, not time. And that's because I do see someone being in such a traumatic thing that they did have their soul fracture. A soul retrieval is needed to bring back these lost pieces of yourselves. It's not to say that you're not whole right now, right? You are you, but there is just more of you, more energy, right? It's like your vessel. And so there might be a crack, and because we'll take a vessel. Imagine this being pottery. And right, everything's in it, but let's say right here is where the fracture kind of happened. There might be a leak that keeps coming out of here. There's a leak that keeps coming out of the top. In fact, it's all gone. Okay, we had one more sip left. But so now it's getting these other pieces and integrating them back. It says, who do you need to forgive? As you release old anger or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. So I am seeing the fracture happen. A place stayed in a moment, and that's the thing, is sometimes we have to go back to these traumas that we never wanted to. And the whole thing is to know that we are here now, safe in our body. And as we go through these memories and we witness this account and we bring those pieces and integrate it back into us, it's knowing that we're safe now. So you can watch this situation happen again and not live it as a fear. Now it's like that TV movie screen detachment kind of thing. And so so that's what I'm seeing, is pieces got broken off, and since there was a void, seeing someone else, they tend to be, and I don't want to throw this around term, but they tend to be narcissists, right? Selfish people, and they see you having this wound or this missing piece puzzle. They keep showing me in the heart, and so they're showing me actually you were talking to someone before, and this was a real connection. This was heart to heart connection, and somehow you got hurt, and then it fractured, because it's saying, who do you need to forgive? It's not this person. This is the one who kind of like takes advantage of things, but there is a true heart that kind of hurt you, and because of that, having that gone, it like kind of left, there was a shattering. It was like, I thought I knew, and then that split happened. So then this person comes in, and they're a little parasite. They're like, let me come in and take advantage. Each word that they said just kind of broke you down. And so they're showing me that the person to forgive, there's two people. It's not this person, not at all, but it's yourself. Because I'm seeing you be like, how could I have believed that this person was so divine when really this is their true nature? Narcissistic, and I'm getting chills. And just so bad and toxic for me. How did I let this happen? So forgiving yourself. But the reason why this person had room to come in is because of whatever fight, or I don't even see it as a fight. It's like something happened or something was lost. Something created heartbreak. And instead of dealing with that heartbreak, it's that person. Someone that you truly, your heart, and that's just kind of sad actually, is because you had so much real love for this one person, and it was pure and it was love, and for that not to work was the shattering. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm feeling so sad right now. But guess what? Did you learn anything? That's the thing, is when the first shattering happened with the true love, with the one that really, like, when your heart was so like, you learned something. Now your heart is tough. Now it's street smarts and intuition. Now all of this is coming together. Soul retrieval. Let's talk a bit more about soul retrieval. They say use the cards that you used for your space holders. So let me put more in here in case we need to go back. New home. So new home is you. Wherever you are, there you are. And home is where the heart is. And your heart is always with you. So I do see your heart being shattered in the past. And so it is taking that energy back. You do have to go to those moments You know, there's a couple ways you can do it, but whatever you feel most called to. But it's reintegrating those energies back into you and letting them know that they're safe. It's that inner child that I'm seeing, teenager and young adult, right? We always deal with the inner child, but the teenager and the young adult version of us, I feel like those are the angry ones. Those are the ones who, you know, they had that inner child, that open heart, and that was the biggest shock. So bringing that back. And so by autumn, okay, by bringing all these pieces back into you, this soul retrieval, this soul integration, that's why the parasite is in reverse. I do feel like this is gone and you don't have to worry about this, but the residual trauma and everything like that is still there. And that's because it got to creep into the cracks and crevices. So there is clearing that needs to happen. And then once that clearing is done, it's still a void space. Now it needs to be filled up with something. Now it needs to be filled up with love. It needs to be filled back up with those soul pieces that split, shattered. There's something that was so heart-shattering and that kept you stuck in a toxic cycle. And you never, ever deserved to be treated that way. But for some reason you allowed it because there was lessons to learn in this. It was learning to find your own supply and source of energy, right? Not needing that validation from someone else, right? That's what I always kind of see is like that approval. You don't need that approval because now you know how to tap into your own source, how to fulfill your own heart. And from that, they showed me, now you're feeling at home within yourself. Now, they're like, this one's not a situationship, this one's a relationship. And let me get a little closer. Okay, so here we got the 2, right? 1, 2. But look at them, once you actually do the work by autumn, they're right there. 1, 2. 2, look how glowy these souls are. These are all the pieces, all the soul fragments, everything back together. This is a harmonious, beautiful relationship and a clear path. They say, who do you need to forgive? Well, who broke your heart? They didn't break your heart, but they were there in the process that helped your heart on this path to wholeness again. So it's yourself and whoever you are holding that grudge, right? And it's almost, and it's sad because the person that you need to forgive is the person that you do genuinely love. You love them so much that it broke your heart to lose that love. And so it's time to grow out of this energy, right? Filling in the cracks and stuff. You don't, that negative self-talk, I'm seeing it's because you allowed it, right? It's like you needed something to fill that up. And so you were like, okay, well, I feel broken. And so this person, I'm just gonna share whatever you want kind of energy. So now it's taking back those limiting beliefs and finding your inspiration. Here, right, this is past, present, we'll kind of say. This is now, this is full. This is the heart, they're telling me. She's like, whoosh. Now the emotions, when they run, they may be intense, they're telling me. So just take the process a little bit gentle. But there is lightness coming. So things are heavy and dense right now, but what am I seeing? I'm seeing by summertime, having that heart-to-heart soul connection back to the healthy original state. So just a bit of soul retrieval. You are whole. You are always whole, right? You don't need anything else to complete you, but there are a bit of slivers, energetic slivers that happened in traumatic events that kind of stayed there. And so you will need to bring it in. You will have to relive these feelings, but know that you are here now and it's just you bringing it in. And then when these feelings come, there might be some uncomfortable things. So you do need to let those go. But they keep showing me the root. We're pulling things out from the root. The root is what we don't need anymore. Unless, you're a farmer, gardener, and you're growing root vegetables. Awesome. Cut up those carrots and make some soup. But we're talking about cords and the roots of those cords. Those go right in the garbage. Throw those right in the energetic garbage. Give them to your guides. Let them does biohazard stuff. We don't want anything to do with that. Let them take that energy and transmute it into something more positive that you can integrate back into or let go, or give it to the universe to use however it sees fit. But once there's that void, remember to fill it up. Remember to fill it up with love, right? Now, and then seal it. Bring in your energy. First I would bring in your energy, then I'd fill it up with love, and then seal it. That's what they're showing me. So soul retrieval, how can we do this? Well, there's so many ways. So they're telling me it's up to you. And if you found a really cool way, maybe share that down in the description, because there's so many ways to heal. Your body is just so willing and ready to heal. So we're gonna leave it there. And actually I grabbed 2 more for the placeholders. Let's see what those 2 are. It says, get some exercise. Oh, battery's dying. I don't know if that kept going or not. It says, get some exercise and travel. What they show me first is the movement. They keep showing the movement of the body, and it's getting everything out. So if you have been stagnant and been staying still, definitely go get some exercise. Go for a walk, anything. I'm not saying that you have to go like balls to the wall, hardcore, till you can't feel your legs. Like, no, they're just saying like, move, dance. I always say, skipping is the best. Why? Because it's faster than walking and less effort than running. But however you move, just move with purpose. Let it come out. It's time to dislodge a lot of this. But once it's gone, there is something to come back. That's what they're showing me. So I hope this video resonates with someone. And if you ever have any questions about the soul retrieval process, I really hope everyone shares something down below. But you could reach out and say, I need help on this kind of area. Maybe we could do a reading. Maybe it could help a lot more people. So yeah, we'll leave it there, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye guys.